Hi everyone, this is Denise with Purple Paper Paradise and the Craftwell Design Team, and I'm here with an eBosser video for you. I know it's been a long time since I've done a video. I do apologize for that, but I actually moved my craft room into a different area of the house, and it took a long time to get it all down and situated. So I'm all set up here now, and I wanted to show you a video. This is some sticky back fun foam. It's about 2 millimeters thick, and we were getting a lot of questions on cutting fun foam with the eBosser, and I've had no problems doing this either with the sticky back or without it. So I thought I'd show you how it actually works, because seeing is believing. And then I also created a little project here that I thought I'd show you, where I actually used some dies that coordinate with a stamp set to create a stamp that I stamped the background onto this colored cardstock and then stamped on top of it. And I'm going to show you just real quickly how to do that, because it creates a really neat card that is completely one-dimensional. There's nothing added onto here. It's all ink using my fun foam stamps with my eBosser. So to do this particular stamp set and dies are from Paper Tray Ink. It's Pretty Peonies. And for these particular dies, and this may be different for other manufacturers, so I'll always kind of test it out, but I found that I have to cut with the raised side into the sticky back. So I'm going to go ahead and just put my die here on my platforms. I'm using the standard sandwich for thin metal dies. You got your B, C, D, and then I'm using the magnetic shim in lieu of plate E. If you have plate E and you don't have the magnetic shim, then by all means use that one instead. And place my fun foam on top, and then my A plate. Now, one thing I want to point out to you, you can see my A plate is very cut up. This is actually my original A plate. I haven't broken one yet. Sometimes what could happen is you could get some texture from the A plate onto your fun foam. But what I have found is that if you cut it and then let it sit for a few hours, it usually kind of bounces back. So if you want to get a nice smooth surface with your fun foam stamps, you can certainly do that using this method. And even if you're using, depending on what color ink and stuff you're using, you might even be able to get a good impression right off the bat. So here you can see it just pops right out. And then what I did here is I just took off this paper lining, and I adhered it to an acrylic block. And I'm going to go ahead and show you real quick how I did this, so you can see how it all works out with the stamping. But you can, if you want to keep this permanently, you can just mount this onto a little piece of plastic or something. I figure since I have the dies and I have plenty of the fun foam, I'm not going to bother keeping them. I'm just going to go ahead, and if I want to do this again, I can always just recut it. I'm only using a small piece of the fun foam. So let me go ahead and show you how this all works. Okay, so first off, with this card, I did a fun foam stamp for this label, and I used a darker pink than the cardstock, and then I masked it to stamp the rest of this. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to show you some of the different color variations. So here, this is like a pink. I used like a dark gray for the leaves, a pink color that's actually lighter than my cardstock, and then I used a red to do the outline. Here's another sample that I did on some blue cardstock, where I used like a navy blue for the leaves, again a blue that was lighter than my cardstock, and then I used a dark purple to do the outlining. And I thought I'd show you a third combination so you can see how this all stamps and puts together. I chose to, on each of these, to use white as my background, but you of course could use any light color. You just want to make sure that the colors you stamp on top of it are going to show up. So I'm using some white ink here, and you just really want to get everything nice and juicy on your stamp. I find that with these fun foam stamps, it works better if you stamp them up a few times, ink them up a few times, they seem to just give a better overall impression. And then because I got some ink on the black here, I'm just going to go ahead and just wipe off some of this excess so that I don't have any transference onto my cardstock. And then the other thing that I did, if you see here, I put like a little black mark there to kind of show me where the down was, just because this particular stamp, it's kind of hard to tell which direction it's supposed to go just by seeing this outline shape. And there you can see that impression there. And so now I'm going to add the leaves on. And I've got here, this is kind of like a gray-green color. And this is a dye ink. This last one, the white ink, was like a hybrid ink. But pigment would work too. You just want to make sure it's completely dry before you stamp on top of it. And I apologize if my head gets in the way here while I try to line these up. And I don't know how well I did there. Oh, I did pretty good actually. And you're going to see a little bit of the white actually transferred back onto the stamp. That's okay. It just cleans off. Okay, so then I really like using a lighter shade. So I've got this orange, and I've picked out like a lighter shade of orange to stamp the flower into. And because I'm stamping this all on white, it's almost like these colors become a little bit more opaque, even though I'm using a dye ink. And there's that. And now I'm going to use a darker, well, it's kind of like an orangey brown color, like a kind of like an orangey rust, to do the outline stamp. And I did not stamp that well at all, but there you can see the color combination and how that really just shows up really nice and bright on your colored cardstock, so you can get that full one page or one coverage on a single layer of cardstock, which is great for if you know, are doing mass production and you need to mail out a lot of cards. You know, you don't have to worry about extra postage. So that is cutting fun foam in the eBosser and making fun foam stamps with your die cuts. And have a great day, everybody. I'll see you soon.